Well, thank you. This is my first corner ever. I decided about 5 minutes ago to put my name into the batch, so hopefully I'll do okay. My story doesn't quite have all sex, drugs, and rock and roll, because it takes place back in 4th grade, so we had to kind of pace ourselves a little bit. But we'll talk about my music education. And so I should say for the last about 30 years of my life, I've been playing music, and I made music a full-time thing for about the last 10 years or so of my life. And growing up here in the beautiful town of Lewiston, we didn't really have a music program in school. You know, I always dreamed of being able to, pick up a fiddle or something like that, or a guitar. And I remember the first time I went to see a film called Amadeus, and learning about Mozart, and seeing this guy tear it up on the piano, just his attitude and that confidence and kind of arrogance about it. I thought, that's amazing. It just blew me away. So I had definitely a love for classical music from seeing that. But I think the moment that really turned me was in 1984 when Thriller came out, but Van Halen came into my world. It was their album 1984. Watching this guy kind of shred out there with his flamboyant looking guitar and just smiling and jumping around, I thought, this guy is amazing. He's having so much fun. And incidentally, he was on the Thriller album too, which made him all the more cool. And I was in 4th grade at the time, so I'll date myself a little bit, but fell in love with it. And a bunch of us kids in school also, we loved music. There was no music program of any kind or whatever, but we loved the music so much we had to figure out some way of embracing the music and partaking in it in some way. So our thing was to assemble a band to lip sync, to pantomime the music in 4th grade. And so, we asked the teacher, can we put on a performance? She's like, well, what are you guys going to do? Well, we're going to do this music by Van Halen. She probably thought it was like Beethoven or something. It's like, I guess so, that's fine, So we kind of figured out how to create our instruments, and I had a yardstick my parents had, and I built a guitar. It was a fake guitar, but I could paint it up and do all this. And we would get together, we rehearsed for a few weeks, we learned all the moves, and I had to learn how to smile, because Eddie he knew how to smile. He had this great move too. He'd do this. You guys remember that? I don't know if anybody remembers Eddie, but he had this thing, man. He would do it, and he was totally in charge, man, when he was playing. It was just amazing. It was like the guitar was just an extension. I had to learn how to channel that. And of course, the other guys in our band, trying to do the David Lee Roth thing, who wouldn't want to be Diamond Dave, right? It was amazing. So we did this thing, we got our boom box, in the room, in our 4th grade class, and we lit into it. It was Panama, there we are, as I recall. And it was great. I loved it. The kids went ape shit in the class. And just to kind of channel that, would the ladies in the room just kind of scream for a moment? Just scream, just let it out. Ah! Again, come on. That's what was going on. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I got to do this. I'm not sure how the teacher knew how to handle it. She's just like, this is kind of freaky. Kind of like 4th grade kids really weren't behaving like that in those days. And I realized this is the life for me. And of course, as life goes on, I figured, my parents didn't buy me a guitar, so I kind of, figured it out in life. And of course, you have to smoke the cigarettes and learn how to drink the beer, as all rock stars do. And, eventually played music. It was great. I completely thank Eddie Van Halen for just teaching me to love playing music. And my path in music definitely changed. I eventually went into playing more traditional music, fiddle tunes and that kind of thing. But I thank you, Eddie, because your love of music, I developed a lot from that. And Mozart. That's my story. Thank you.